Welcome to Aging Untold. For many people, faith is a key part of their lives and becomes increasingly important as they age and face challenges with their health. AARP cites that about 80% of adults between 50 and 80 years old say their spiritual beliefs are important to them. And there are a growing number of Americans, about 29%, who say they have no religious affiliation and are less likely to seek assistance from the faith-based community. So, Sam, how do you navigate the differing views on religion and spiritual perspectives?
I think you have to honor individual belief systems, and you have to honor their right to make their own choices and not impress your own.
I have mixed feelings here, and probably where I go is if you're really, really faithful and you really want everybody else to share your faith, you're going to be the one that's going to have to be extra careful when you approach somebody that has a different view than yours, because it creates stress and anxiety, and it doesn't allow room for the other person to really be where they are. So I would caution people, hang on to your faith, but be very wary about pushing your faith on someone else until you really know where they are. Even opening up the conversation, would you like to have this conversation? Maybe they'll say no, maybe they'll say yes.
Maybe they'll ask about it later, too.
It's okay to give an opportunity to conversation. And I think, you know, we were all raised in that time frame where you don't talk about religion and politics.
Yep.
They were taboo, and look where we are now. So it doesn't mean that we shouldn't have the conversations. It means that we haven't learned how to have healthy conversations.
Maybe we can take the time to just ask someone, we can ask what their thoughts are, because that sets it up for the conversation. So I don't have to make that assumption on what your belief is, or I'm afraid to ask you. It's open communication.
Why do you believe what you believe? How does that bring you comfort? And then I might actually open myself up to learning something new.
Right.
Which
Right.
wouldn't that be wonderful if we
Right.
could be willing to do that and listen to others? This becomes such a hard topic, especially when our community's advancing and aging and we're getting close to that final sunset. It's really hard for family members sometimes to reconcile in themselves. If their loved one's passing and they have a different belief system, let's just say that they're agnostic. Say that they don't. And you have a very, Christian mindset child or family member, and oftentimes they want to come in and they want to force that belief system. And in doing so, you alienate that relationship, and you lose something there, I think.
Catherine, what's your perspective?
Well, I'm hearing this about the tension, adding tension, chaos, stress, and imagining maybe a caregiver or someone else like, she was trying to sell me on religion. I don't want to hear about that. So I'm feeling all that. And that, science shows that having faith can make living and dying easier. Or just the thought, the trust that maybe instead of this is happening to me and I'm a victim, maybe this is happening for me and I don't quite see the beauty in it yet, or the lesson in it yet, or where I'm going from here.
I think your point with it being for you is getting support around. When I'm going through a hard time, the best thing I can hear from someone is think of the meaning behind what you're doing. Think about who this might be helping. What is it preparing you for?
Yeah.
Right.
And then maybe finding a value that fits for you to get through that hard time.
A way to hope and cope. Now, when it comes to taking action, what I see with a lot of people is a lack of confidence, and that faith it till you make it is kind of play on fake it till you make it. Like you just step into action, maybe not even quite knowing if you're up to the task. But if you just take action and just trust that you'll be equipped along the way, and by moving into action, it can, the truth will be revealed. Sometimes you just see that first step or two and you don't see exactly where you're going.
You asked me there in the beginning, how do you handle that when families differ? And I think from the family member's perspective, if I'm the one that has a certain belief system and maybe my loved ones doesn't, I'm going to have to talk to my spiritual counsel, my pastor, my minister, whoever that person may be. I need to be talking to them, not talking to this person over here and trying to impose upon them.
And, people can tell, don't make them feel judged. That you should not make them feel bad about what they believe. You need to be able to sit and listen and help them through their healing process, whatever that is. And sometimes people just need to talk, and you just need to be empathetic. You don't have to say anything. You just need to listen.
So they can process it out loud. Sometimes when people are talking out loud, they're surprised by what they say. I know I am sometimes. I'll say something, I'll go, ooh.
I'm oftentimes surprised by what you say.
But sometimes I hear myself and I think, oh, that must be what I think.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. It's not like you need somebody to say something back. It's just to hear yourself talk and get it out, to get your own perspective and get grounded, and then be reminded, what got you through the last time? What helped you before? What have you done historically? What have you done? And use that to get through it. So whether faith it till you make it, which I do love, by the way, or whatever other faith that you express, or something else.